Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Sistas. This is season 3, episode 4, and it was titled Just a Talk. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me and the share button. Alright, so this episode was a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing, but we're gonna still talk about it. Like, the review should just be like 10 minutes because it really wasn't. It was a bunch of nothing, y'all. It was so irritating, and I was just like, really, Tyler, this is what we gonna do for a whole 42 minutes is just this. Let's jump into it. So we open up where it left off last week, where they up there at the altar, I guess you can call it. And Gary is still looking at Andy like, just say yes, let's do it, or whatever. And Danny like, wait, what? Like, no, that's not what we finna do. Brie, her happy-go-lucky, can't make no decision or make a thought on her own. It's like, well, I mean, like, let's go along with it. And Karen is like, no, because this some controlling ass shit. Like, we ain't doing this or whatever. Danny agreeing with Karen like, thank you, girl, thank you. Brie like, oh, okay, well, let's talk now. I said a minute ago, you was all ready for them to get married. Girl, shut up. And Gary like, wait, did I screw this up? And they like, yes, you did. Like, did you really think this is going to go very well or whatever? And Andy like, this is beautiful. Like, this is so beautiful or whatever. And Karen like, I know you ain't finna marry this man. I know that's not what you finna do. Here come Aaron, child. He run in all late about, I tried to get here as fast as I could. I was like, what the hell, Aaron? Because Aaron is a pastor. So I was like, well, is he going to marry them? But then I remembered that the guy behind Gary was going to be the pastor or whatever, or the officiate or whatever. No, Aaron there with the goddamn marriage license, child. Karen like, you brought the marriage license? Oh. Okay, so now she mad at Aaron. I'm like, why you mad at Aaron? Girl, he don't really know what's going on between Gary and all like that with Andy. He barely even knew they was dating. I said, Lord have mercy. So Gary, he pretty much ignoring everybody. Danny, we gonna say whatever. Fatima ain't said nothing, child. So it's mainly Danny and Karen going back at it and stuff like that. So Gary ignores them too. And he like, come on, just say yes. Just say yes. And Andy like, I mean, yes. Yeah. And Danny like, hello, we said we need to talk or whatever like that. So then Andy like, all right, I'll be right back. Oh my God, this is so beautiful, I'll be right back. So then they drag her pretty much off the thing. The pastor and Aaron looking like, what the fuck is going on? They all looking like, oh, what's really going on? So then they go to the back. And child, in the back, Fatima like, you know what, I ain't even with this shit. So she grabbed her purse and she left. I said, well, damn, she made a quick exit, okay? Karen is like, I'm taking this dress off. I'm taking these shoes off. Danny like, we ain't doing all of that because somebody owed me $500. Run me my queens. So Karen like, no, this is Gary. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm getting out of here, whatever like that. And Andy, she ain't saying nothing. She quiet the whole time or whatever. So Brie like, well, I thought it was very thoughtful. It was very thoughtful and stuff. And Karen like, thoughtful? It'd be thoughtful if he was a good man, but he ain't no good man or whatever. So Karen fussing. Danny like, look at her. Just look at her. We can't stop her. This is what she want. Like, she ain't saying nothing. This is what she want. Just look at her. She a grown-ass woman. She gonna do whatever she want to do. Karen like, what? So we just gonna be all agreeing to this? Like, she just gonna go down there aisle and do all that? No, that's not what she finna do or whatever. So, Andy finally said something, talking about something. She knows she's scared or whatever like that, cause she crying and stuff, and she don't know what she want to do. And Brie like, scared is a good emotion. I'm like, Brie, shut the fuck up. She was getting on my nerves. And Andy like, I just need a minute. I just need a minute. Let me just sit here and I just need a minute. And then so Karen fussing some more. And then Andy like, listen. I know months ago, before all this drama happened, I had told him, what if people have surprise weddings, like they have surprise birthday parties and stuff, and it was our first date, and I spoke about it, about everything. I told him about the shoes I wanted, the bridesmaid dresses, the dress I wanted. And he remembered everything from that first day. And Karen like, well, you want to know what I remembered? What I remember is the bruised ribs, the wife, the children, all of that. Do you not remember that? I remember all of that, Karen, but he never lied to me. He never lied to me, Karen. I just want to make sure you remember everything that we remember too, okay? So Andy like, but it was Jasmine. Jasmine had set him up like that. It wasn't even him. It wasn't even him. It was Jasmine the whole time. It was him. So she like, you know what? What about the country? What about him taking you out to the country? What was that Jasmine too? I remember all of that. Daddy like, she lived it, Karen. She lived it. She would remember or whatever. Brie ain't say nothing, hallelujah. Karen like, look, I'm out of here. I cannot with this shit. So she ends up trying to leave. Andy like, you can't leave. You're my best friend. Like, all of y'all are my best friends. I need y'all here. I just need y'all here, whatever. And so Andy like, no, not Andy. Karen like, so you gonna marry him? You gonna marry him? That's what you gonna do? Tell me you're not gonna marry him. So you gonna do it. You're gonna do this, Andy. You're gonna do this. I love him or whatever. So Karen like, look, I cannot with this. I am not going to sit here with this. Like, you going to commit suicide and stuff. I am out of here. Danny like, you know you wrong. You know you wrong. We should support her. She grown. She going to do what she want to do. You know you wrong. We got to be by her side and stuff. Karen like, I'm not going to be by her side to see this. So Karen ends up leaving, and child. So, Andy's standing there talking to Brie and Danny like, y'all just don't see the Gary that we see or whatever. Y'all just don't see it. You know, I see like good Gary and stuff. And should I do this? Y'all think I should do this? Like, y'all think I should do this? And Danny like, no, girl, but I'ma support you. And Brie like, you know I love you, but I don't think you should do this. But I'ma support you. So she like, okay. And they like, you want to do this? Yes, I want to do this. All right, well, let's go ahead and touch up your makeup and stuff. Let's go and touch up your makeup. So they fix her up and child. I said, Lord have mercy, all that goddamn drama. Then we see Gary. He out there talking to Aaron and stuff, asking like, did I do this wrong? Did I like mess this up or whatever? And Aaron like, man, I told you it was going to be risky. I told you it was going to be risky. And so then Karen come out. And so she stared Gary down. I don't like you. But you already know that. You a liar, you an abuser, and you a son of a bitch. And if you hurt her again, I promise I got something for your ass. And he like, no, I'm good or whatever. And, you know, this was just like a little mess up. I messed up or whatever. A mess up is spilled milk in the kitchen. What she say? Not squeezing her to death is not a mess up. And then she said some other shit because he was saying he's sorry, and she said you a pocket full of sorry and some shit like that. And then Karen ended up like, don't talk to me, Aaron. And then she ends up leaving. I said, okay, you mad at Aaron again? Okay, girl. Anyway, we see Fatima outside. So Karen ends up looking at Fatima because their cars parked beside each other, child. And so Fatima out there vaping and whatnot, and then she go over there offering Karen her vape pen. I said, what? Who does that? But anyway, so Karen like, no, I don't want that or whatever. So she was like, look, Karen, I didn't know. Okay, I did not know that or whatever. She was like, you know what? It don't even matter. And so Karen asked her again, I think, like, if he talked about his ex or something like that. And she was like, yeah, he talked about his ex all the time. But when she was like, did he go into detail? No, because every time he brought up his ex, I would squash it or whatever like that. Because I don't want to be hearing about that. So Karen like, he ain't shit. So Fatima ain't say nothing. So she was like, but you don't agree with me, do you? She was like, well, I don't want to think about him. I don't want to be having him on my mind all the time, but I can't seem to shake him or whatever like that. And I'm usually can cut a nigga off real quick, but I can't stop thinking about Zach or whatever like that. So she was just like, all right, whatever. So Fatima was like, why you out here, you out of your dress? Like, why you ain't in your dress? Karen was like, because I'm not supporting that shit. And so Fatima was like, well, I'm going to go back in here and support her decision. And I know she would love if you came back in here and supported her too. So Karen was just going like, bitch, bye. And she got her car and rode away. At the gay club, we see Maurice. He up there talking to the bartender or whatever, and he lying, talking about some Calvin and Jacoby was over there in the bank fighting over him. And the bartender like, I don't believe you. You need more people. And he was like, well, it was a fantasy. He was like, yeah, that's what I thought. And so Maurice started asking the bartender about Q and if he's seen Q and stuff. And he was like, well, what he steal? And he was like, he stole from you, girl. And he was like, yeah, he stole my laptop. And Maurice was like, well, was it worth it? He was like, it was worth it. I said, Lord. So Maurice, like, if you see Q, let me know, because I'm going to come pick him up. So we see Calvin. He coming to the gay bar. He sit there or whatever. And Maurice like, well, why is you in here? And he was like, well, I'm just sitting here reminiscing about my fathers and stuff. Can I just come in the gay club and reminisce and stuff? And he was like, I guess, but you can't go to another bar or whatever. So then Calvin asked him like, well, why you in here? Maurice like, bitch, I'm gay. Like, that's what we do in the gay club. We go to the gay club? Like, the fuck? Like, I don't know about what you doing here. So then this girl, this white chick, come in there and sit next to Calvin. So Calvin like, oh yeah, give us some shots. So of course, I was like, Megan. Maurice asked the girl, like, oh, I'm Maurice, and who is you? She was like, oh, I'm Peggy. I'm Calvin's friend or whatever. He was like, y'all dating? She was like, no, we just hook up sometimes. So Maurice like, hook up? Like, what's going on? Peggy about to spill all the tea and stuff, child, on how they hook up and whatnot. And then they had like a little moment where Calvin was like, Maurice and his friends is hood and they not open-minded because they just feel like a guy can't be in a gay bar and experience this scene without being gay or whatever. And the girl was like, well, we like coming here because it's a bunch of hoes up in here. I said, a bunch of hoes. So I guess they be picking up people from the gay bar and then bringing them back. But wouldn't that make Calvin buy? Like, child, whatever. At this point, they just need to be saying that he just a no label, okay? Because the way Tyler, if you don't get it together, but then the girl was like, well, we ain't never bring two guys home or something like that. And then Calvin was like, with that tea or whatever. So I'm like, what is we doing here again? Like, I guess she picking up the females and then bringing them back, or did they just bring one guy? Because she said we didn't bring two guys home. So, like, Tyler Perry, what is we doing? What is we doing? I'm tired of the Calvin storyline. I'm tired of it. We see Zach. He goes over to Danny's house. I guess he wanted to talk to Danny. Danny not there. Of course, Rodeo there. And so he was about to leave, but then he was like, oh, wait a minute. You cooked? Oh, let me come in here and get some. So Rodeo cooked some steak and some mashed potatoes or whatever. And so they start talking over the food and whatnot. And so Zach was like, well, where where Danny at? So he was like, oh, she said she went to meet up with the girls or whatever. So Zach was like, oh, well, good luck with that, because every time Karen come home from one of them sister circle meetings or whatever like that, she got an attitude. And so he was like, you ain't never experienced that with Danny? Rodeo was like, no, she just come home, she be happy and stuff. Because Danny don't give a fuck about all that drama. So he was like, oh, good luck with that. You lucky or whatever. And so then it gets into like, how is their relationship? How is Danny and Rodeo's relationship? And he was like, we're doing good. And so then it was how Zach and Karen doing. And Zach was like, well, that ship has sailed. We not together no more or whatever. And Preston was like, you sure about that? Because Danny said y'all be breaking up to make up all the time. He was like, yeah, we did, but I'm over that or whatever. I'm tired of going back and forth with her. Like, I love her. Like, I love her to death, but I will never be what she needs or whatever. I was like, I heard that. And so he was like, he doing him or whatever. So then he asked Rodeo, because Rodeo was like, well, what you doing business-wise or whatever? He was like, I can't tell you because you and your girl pillow talk too much. But what if you got this tip on something would you take it? And so Rodeo was like, well, I would think about it and, you know, research it a little bit, and then I might jump on it or whatever. So I'm about 99.9% sure that Zach gonna take that deal from that lady. Anyway, we see Karen. She in her shop, child. It's quiet at first. So she's sitting there at the receptionist desk or whatever. Next thing we hear all this moaning, child. I was like, who in the back moaning and stuff? So she go back to her office. Child, why Pam on her desk, on Karen's desk, getting it in with some guy? I said, Lord. And then when Karen opened up the door, here go Pam. Can we get a little privacy? I said, child, not the fact that you want some privacy. Karen go out trying to calm herself down. Pam come out acting like ain't nothing happened. And they're talking about something. Hey girl. I said, not hey girl. Then she like, Karen like, girl, what is going on with you? She was like, what? My body needed a tune up, girl. And she was like, as an employee in my salon, you cannot be in the shop having sex. That is my desk, Pam. She was like, just the same way you was. She was like, well, I'm the boss. This is my shop or whatever. So she was like, Karen was like, well, what is the man's name? Or like, who is that? She was like, I don't know, girl, man. Who cares? I was cracking. Karen was like, well, don't you need to go like clean up? So she was like, well, I wash my hands. She was like, what about your kitty? She was like, it's perfectly clean. I said, Lord have mercy. Talking about something. She was she bought this vibrator or whatever, and she called it Christopher, but then when she used it, she had to call it Dante or something, or Daquan. That's what it was, Daquan. And she was about to marry Daquan. So she was just like, you know what, I need to get out and about and start mingling and talking to people. So she on some dating app. So she basically telling Karen, like, get out there, girl, and get over Zach, pretty much. So then somehow it came, I think Pam had said something about, well, who you meeting here, girl? I know you meeting somebody here. Because she was saying, like, she didn't want the guy to know where she lived at, so that's why she met him at the shop. So she was like, Karen was like, I'm not meeting nobody here. She was like, oh, okay, because I'm going to run them cameras back. Karen was like, girl, I'm going to run the cameras back for the last 30 days and see how many people you had up here. She was like, girl, don't do that. Don't do that, girl. Don't do that. All right, I'm going to leave. I said, she up here ho-ho-hoing. So then we see Karen, she calls Zach, because then she was like, oh, he still got my number blocked. So then she ends up calling him from the salon off his phone. Zach, ignoring the phone call, she didn't call back to back to back, maybe like 5-6 times. Rodeo, like, answer the phone. He like, no, it's probably some bill collectors or something. I'm not answering the phone. He like, at 9:00 p.m., just answer the phone. So, Zach ends up answering the phone from Karen, and Rodeo was like, oh, I see, I thought y'all was over. Whatever. So he tried not to listen the whole time. Karen wants Zach to come down there to the shop to talk or whatever. And Zach real aggressive, like, well, what you want to talk about? I don't want to talk to you or whatever. Like, what you want or whatever. She was like, look, I just need to talk to you. I'll wait for you to be available, because he did say he was eating and he wasn't alone. So she was like, well, I'll wait at the shop until you available or whatever. He was like, well, I'm going to come down there after I eat. She was like, all right, no problem. I told you I'll wait for you or whatever. I was like, And here go Preston. You going to finish eating this steak dinner and then have Karen for dessert. I see you. I was cracking up. And so then we see Calvin. He dancing in the club with the girl or whatever. Ends up, long story short, okay, Q pops up in the club. Maurice goes over there, tells Q that he going to jail, yada, yada, yada. Q like, look, let me make it up to you or whatever. Maurice is like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. He popped him in the face, knocked him out, dragged him out the club. Gary, he pacing back and forth because he don't know what's happening in the back or whatever like that. Aaron pretty much like, chill out, it's okay. You know how women gonna be women. They gonna talk and stuff. They gotta get their face beat and all that other stuff, so it's gonna be all right. Gary like, well, I just want her to be happy, you know, I just want her to be happy and stuff, and I just want to leave all that bullshit behind and stuff. And then let me get it together. Aaron thinking about Karen, so then Gary like, yeah, she a piece of work. And so Aaron like, don't talk about her. He was like, wait a minute, what? He was like, well, you know, me and Karen kind of dating. What? I ain't know know about this, man. I ain't know about this. I ain't know that we friends and we dating two friends. Like, I ain't know about that. So he was like, well, you know, we've been busy and stuff like that. He was like, all right, what you gonna tell me about it? He was like, look, let's just focus on what you got going on here, and I'll tell you about it later. Oh, come on, man, spill the tea. So then Aaron spills the tea a little bit, saying like, you know, they going through a rough time, and because what just happened with his ex-wifey, he wanted to take it slow and stuff like that. I'm saying, now you want to take it slow? Oh, okay. But that's not why, Aaron. But you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of your friend. I understand that. So Gary like, well, you know, I just want, you know, because he was like, I can't be alone or something like that, or I don't want to be alone. And so Aaron was like, is it you can't be alone or you don't want to be alone? He was like, I mean, like a little of both. He was like, well, what's the difference? And he was telling them like, can't will make you do some crazy ass shit, but don't want to be alone, you know, because you found the right one and you want to settle down with them and stuff like that, or grow with them. I hate the word settle down, but grow with them. So he was like, oh, well, I want that because I just want her to be happy. And I know she's the right person. I love her. I love her a lot. So he was like, all right. So he was like, so I'm going to marry her. I mean, if she ever come out the back. So in the back, child, Fatima back there, Brie back there, Danny back there. They still asking Andy the same goddamn questions they asked her at the beginning of the damn episode, child. Andy talking about something, she happy, and then she don't look happy. She look petrified. And then they like, well, you don't look happy. She like, I am. And so they're like, all right, well, you gonna get up out the chair so we can go out there or whatever. She start crying again. She asks Karen out there. They like, no, girl, she left for real. That she like, oh, okay. So she about to cry. They like, look, girl, we can't be beating your face again. So she like, you know, I'm just a little overwhelmed, but they like in a good way. Yeah, like in a good way. Here go Brie. Well, we're all emotional, you know. Brie, shut up. So then Fatima and Danny end up bonding over the day, smoking stuff like that, and they start talking about sativa and something else, and then they was like, well, do you need a puff off the vape or whatever? You know, we can mix up a hybrid or whatever. And so Brie was like, I don't think, no. Was it Brie? Yeah, I think it was Brie saying, well, I don't think she needs to be, no, it's Fatima saying she don't need to be high for when she get married or whatever like that. Here go Daddy, it's a bud for every occasion. I was like, child. And so then Andy, she asking the same questions that she, this is what I want, right? This is what I want. They like, well, girl, you tell us. And she like, yes. This is what I want. This is what I want. And so then she finally gets up. So they like, all right. Let's fluff her dress out. Child, she's standing there. She looked like she finna pass the fuck out. I said, is she okay? Because she was just like, I said, oh my God. And then she busts out with, I don't want to do this. I said, oh my God. We went 45 minutes for you to go through all these emotions and then finally say you don't want to do this. Girl, bye. I think she don't want to do it because Karen not there, and not because she don't want to get married, but because Karen not there beside her. And then, but what about her other family? Like, she don't have no other family. We're Gary family. Like, all these questions and stuff like that. Like, why he want to get married so fast, child? I'm just like, I understand you want to do a surprise wedding and stuff like that because that's what she said she wanted to do. However, when you do like a surprise wedding, should you invite her family? Should you have your family there? Like, shouldn't it be more than just 4 friends in the officiate? Like, come on now, do something. Anyway, y'all, that was the whole episode. Y'all let me know what y'all felt about it down there in them comments below. If you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.